30. We always tell everybody 10 o'clock. We always tell people 30 minutes before we actually need to start because realtors, it's just things happen. Hey, don't be afraid to go get burritos and coffee and all this other stuff. We're not taking it home later. It's a lot. There's a lot of burritos left over. Yeah, I'm waiting for Sebastian. Ready?
Yep.
You got wide angle to kind of like, or does it matter where I walk?
I got all the way to that door.
Hey, since we're doing, marketing and digital media and all this, the video guy is important. We got to. No, we do a lot of master classes and we put them all on YouTube. Just future reference, and so this is all like, man, we just taught that. Like, we get a lot of questions from an agent, and they're like, hey, how do you do this? I'm like, man, we literally just did a training on this like 3 weeks ago. And then, so now we got a reference to go back to. So, man, first off, thank you all for being here. This is amazing. First time Solano County Daily Desk doing something here is pretty cool. It's different. We're used to, we're home base, right? Contra Costa County, where we grew up, where we, built my business, and where, we're kind of growing and doing our thing. But throughout the years, Solano County's always been my favorite, like markets, right? Like I think the Contra Costa market and Solano markets are very similar as far as like prices, just the competition, what you're working with, the clientele. I think that's the most important, is I understand what clients are, looking for and how to make moves and educate them, and, talking to listing agents, all that good stuff. Like I always tell people, is like, look, Pittsburgh, Antioch, and Brentwood is exactly the same of Vallejo, Fairfield, and Vacaville. Can you guys agree with that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Price range, people, community. So to me, it's very similar with each other. I just know that these markets move, and I like to work where people move. We don't like to work where people don't move. So first and foremost, I want to thank Christiam for burritos, home warranty protection. Old Republic Home Warranty Protection, we do a lot of business. Like, all home warranties are all very similar to each other, right? They all kind of do the same stuff. But if you guys haven't worked with home warranties, and if you guys haven't had clients work with home warranties, it could get pretty goddamn frustrating. Because they trick you into saying the wrong things. And then they say, oh, you don't qualify for that repair. So, but it matters having the right rep in your place to make sure that you're saying the right things. Like, you go to the rep before you talk to the actual company. And so that's why giving her a lot of business and working with her for years has been amazing. So, Christiam, come on up and have a little spill of what you want to talk about.
Thanks, everybody. And Phil, thank you for always having me. Glad to be here. You guys are awesome. So, in the spirit of today and social media, which I am hoping to learn something, because this is an area I need to improve on greatly. I am going to do a little social media contest. So I'm going to ask you guys if you have a Old Republic home protection warranty story where the home warranty helped your clients save money, we provided good service, it helped you with seller's coverage, or anything where the home warranty might have helped you. If you post a story about it, tag me, and then hashtag warranty win. The first 3 people who do that, which this may take a minute, right? Yeah. I will give you a coupon worth $100 that you can share with one of your clients to Way to Trade coffee. So that could cover rekey service, or if they have a service that they need, that'll help cover the trade coffee for them. Yes.
Can we talk about our personal experience too?
Yeah, whatever works for you. No limits. And then second, if you registered to be here today and you showed up, come let me know. I'm going to mark it off, and then I will do a little spin, and whoever wins will also get a $100 trade coffee for a future client. All right?
Thank you, Christiam.
Okay, thanks for having
Awesome.
me.
I'm not gonna lie, I just used the one that she gave me a long time ago, and it saves you $100. So $100 is $100. So cool. All right, man. So today we're talking about something that is my passion, something that I fell in love with, and this is the reason why I'm actually here. For a lot of you guys, some of you guys know me, some of you guys don't know me. The thing is, for me, it's more so, I have never sent out mailers. I've never done the old school tactics. I've never, I understand them, they work, right? Don't get me wrong, but the old school tactics, a lot of the older generation have been doing it for years, and it was like when they were doing these strategies, the prices were a lot different compared to how they are now. So it's hard for a brand new agent to go in and try to do mailers versus back then when it was like the cheaper, right? Does that make sense? So I think now that digital space and like, going into this, I want you guys to like understand, because, mastering videos and content and running ads and all this other stuff, like, is the same thing of like mastering how to even meet with a client and how to even close a client and how to educate a client. Like it's just different. It's a new thing. Like you got to learn it. You got to get better at. You got to just jump in. And I think that's where so we brought in some amazing speakers, and I'm excited to bring them up. I've known them, one of them for a while. One of them I was like gravitated towards. And I was like, I got to get this guy to come in and talk to people in Solano County and our team. But one of the things I want you guys to like understand, you guys are gonna learn a whole bunch of stuff. You guys are gonna learn video, the strategies, all these different ideas, and ideas are cool, but if you don't do them, they suck, right? And you guys could, like they say it over and over again. Like I've gone to the Tom Ferry conferences where it's 5,000 agents, right? And I go to all these other conferences, and they've been teaching the same shit for 5, 6, 7 years. Do video. Finally, I think I went 2 years ago to the Tom Ferry conference, and they stopped talking about video finally, right? Because I think they finally understand, like, whoever's doing it is going to do it, and whoever's not is not. So, like, stop talking about it. So, but I think the moment that you guys need to have, and I had this moment 8 years ago. You guys could go back to my old Instagrams, my old YouTubes. Gary Vee does this a lot, where he posts his original videos that he ever done. Like, if you guys follow Gary Vee, he did those wine commercials on YouTube, and they're just, like, super, like, not good, right? Like, compared to, like, how they are now. Like, if you guys go back to like my original videos back in 2008, I think I saw like that was like the original ones. Not 2008. It was 8 years ago. What was that? I don't even want to try to do math right now. But like you can see my old videos, right? And like you can see the evolution of it, and it's crazy to see. But it's like you got to get through that fuck it moment. You got to like understand, like, dude, it's all gonna be hard, but we all know we need to do it. You're going to understand, you're going to see everybody that does it, and we crush it when we do it. But like you guys got to understand, you're going to get through that. You got to get through that hard. You got to get through that suck moment to be able to do anything that we're doing, right? And so I think that's one of the biggest things for me that I've understood, and how I got over that hump was, fuck it. Who cares what other people are going to say? Who cares? Like, friends and family are going to talk mess about you. You guys don't even understand, like, my brand back then was Bill Davis, East Bay Realtor. Like, that was my name. I was like, hey, this is Bill Davis, East Bay Realtor. I'd go to family friend parties all the time. They'd be like, oh, here goes Bill Davis, East Bay Realtor. Here's East Bay Realtor coming through the door. Like, it was over and over again. But then after a couple of years, they started seeing me sell a lot of homes and making a lot of money. They're like, oh shit, man, that video was tight. No more making fun of me. It went to like, oh wow, that worked kind of thing, right? And so you just got to get through that. And it's going to be hard, but like, dude, this is your vision, your business, your money. You got to like put the blinders on. And if you know it works, because you see it works, we know it works. There's so many other lead generation strategies that are out there. So many of them, millions. Right? You could go to a Tom Ferry conference, Cheplack conference. You guys could go to all these different trainings, and you'll come back and you'll be like, shit, there's like 50 different lead generations I have to do. Right? There's a lot of them. But why go against the grain when there's something that's the easiest? And that's where this digital space is. So, I told them, I don't even know what they're going to talk about, but I was like, dude, I want you guys to just bring value. Bring whatever it is that, you think is going to help somebody. So you're going to hear different levels, different things of what they say. At the end, I'm going to bring in some stuff that I want to talk about, like how to take what they do and go from here to here. So a lot of it might go over your head a little bit, but you're going to understand you got to do this first. I always tell my agents on my team, I'm like, I can't clone you guys and make videos for you. But if you guys make the videos and you guys have the content, I could take that and have it go here. But you guys got to do this. I can't do this for you. So that's where we're going to kind of go with this. So we got Roland, we got Walter, and I'm excited to bring them up. Walter is somebody, I didn't even know his name, I'll be honest. I thought it was just living in Solano County, right? And like that, like yesterday, what? Solano Valley. And so like that's one of the things, it's you know, like I was like, that's the name that he was branding, and that's the name he's branding. But it just gravitated, like he's a newer agent, right? And I think it's just, but his branding and what he does was, reminding me of what I did back then. Like I grew up in El Sobrani, and I tell a lot of people, like everybody, I meet with a lot of agents every single week about, looking for opportunities or whatever. But a lot of them, they're always like, oh, I only want to work in this area. I only want to work where I live. I lived in El Sobrani for 36, 37 years, right? It took me 5 years of real estate business to finally start getting some sales in the city that I grew up and lived in. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. So you got to branch out, right? You got to branch out. You do the sales everywhere you want, but you can market and build a brand where you want based off of what you put out there. And I think he's doing exactly that. And I think that's one of the things I want you guys to really see. So make sure you guys are following him, because what he's doing, guess what he's doing? He's starting to get leads on his own where he wants to work. So before I say too much, come on up.
Super grateful to be here. It's my first ever time speaking in front of people, so bear with me, focus on your food. Bill threw me with the big dogs like Roland, so he's absolutely crushing it on socials. So just to get started, I've been in the industry for about 3 years. Last year was my best year yet. Hit my goals, GCI, volume, but I just really wasn't happy with my business. I was very stressed out, cold calling, doing whatever it took to earn sales. That's when I decided to create this, and more importantly, intentionally post, right? Because you can post Canvas and just sold, just listed, but those don't do numbers. Those don't really move the needle for you. Anyone can share, if you're not on Zillow or social media, how else are you getting your business? Anyone? Open houses, Sphere. Cool. So my goal is not to change your business. It's just to add that extra pillar. So if you can add an extra 3 to 5 deals a year, that can maybe get you that vacation you've always wanted and whatnot. So my brand is living in Solano Valley. We know Napa Valley, Sonoma Valley, not Solano Valley, right? But that was the whole goal. When people were looking through, I wanted to make sure that people stopped and asked themselves, who the hell is this guy? Why is he naming it something that it's not, right? So it's very intentional. Again, no Canva posts. I don't do them. I post them on my story. I repost them from my brokerage, and then I'll put them in the highlights. So if people want to dig a little deeper, they can see that I actually do sell real estate, right? I focus more on being local than going viral. The reason being is because I want this brand I want to have a team at some point. I don't necessarily see myself, I don't want to be popular in Orlando, Texas. Like, that's not going to move the needle for my business. Again, a lot of my brand, you're going to see my face in every single video that I do. I like being recognized at the grocery store and whatnot. So again, show up like the person they'll hire. That's me. I don't wear suits. That's literally just, I try to attract people like me. So it's a lot of warmer interaction when we finally do meet in person. We can go to the next one. I'm a little bit nervous. Shit. So a lot of the posts that how I generate leads is through home tours, and not all of them are my listings. So you're probably asking, like, this is my 4 steps, right? So I think everybody should be checking the MLS at least twice a day. So what I do every single morning is find out those unique properties that will stand out, and it's a little bit tougher for me because in Solano County, there's not that many cool homes, right? It's either very new construction or cookie cutter homes, right? So, but the way that I do it is I find a home that has a really big lot in a very good school district, something that I would want to see if I were shopping in that market. Now, this is what most people ask me, right? It's like, well, how do you get access to it, right? So I typically only go for vacant homes because I think it's a little bit unfair to remove the seller from their homes just for me to market to get business, right? So I text the agent, I let them know exactly what I'm doing. I let them know that I've successfully closed deals from socials and have pending deals and whatnot. And 8 out of 10 times they'll say yes. If they say no, it's typically because I've gathered that it's because they're probably not marketing their listing correctly and they don't. I've gotten texts or DMs from homeowners saying, hey, I saw it, thanks for showing off my house. My agent didn't even do that. So that's that. Again, focus on the story, find a home that has a VA loan, a great price. Again, just try to build a story based on that specific home and just don't post any random home, right? I typically do try to go for stage homes as well. It's my brand. I want to showcase nice homes. Stage homes, we know that sell a lot better. So why wouldn't it work for video, right? My equipment, iPhone, CapCut, a tripod, and a basic gimbal. The iPhone's probably the most expensive thing. The rest is probably like 150 bucks. Sometimes I'll hire my little sister. It costs me a couple bucks here and there. So I would take a picture of this because this is literally what I do like every day. Go to the next one. We can show that video example if we can. Okay, I want to get some water. Thank you.
Go take a tour.
There it is.
I just want you guys to see the beginning, and after that, we'll be good. Yeah, if you can just back up and then. Okay, the point is, we can just move there.
And go to the video at the same time and watch it.
We broke the internet today.
So as you can see, well, you couldn't see, but my strategy in every video is to showcase my face in the first 3 seconds. Again, my face is everything for my business. So we can go to the next slide. I'm not really going to dive into how I structure my videos just because you guys can go on YouTube or just copy and paste someone else's. That's probably the easiest part. But what really changed my business was my systems, right? So, for example, that video, I think 20-something thousand views, hundreds of DMs asking for more information. But what I did with those DMs is really what changed the business, right? So I have a buddy that I can give you guys his information. He's an agent out in LA. He created the CRM to where every single person that DMs me goes into my database of my CRMs. And if they send me their email, it also goes into my CRM, right? So it looks a little bit like this. It's very automated. So I think MiniChat works the same. So basically, they're having conversations while I'm not even doing anything, right? Depending on their response, I'll chime in. And once I ask for their email, which is here, then this is actually me talking, right? And then they're just telling me what they're looking for. So from that point, I essentially turn them into a warmer lead, right? Because they're actually interacting with me. So this is extremely important because if you're getting views, likes, and shares, but you're not doing anything with it, you're not very likely to make them into a sold client, right? So that's good. Yeah.
I just wanted to know that conversation that you're having, is that through your CRM or is that still in Instagram?
So I keep everything on Instagram, but the conversation does move to the CRM too. So I can go on my laptop and look at the whole conversation there.
And is it linked to a CRM you already have, or that's the one that?
That's the one that I paid for, yeah. It's called jtek.pro.
Can you spell that?
JTEK.pro. It's great because if you send me your email, your phone number, it literally just, it plugs everything in. So when I'm prospecting, I don't necessarily go on Instagram, I just go there and I know that all the information's there. So this is another tactic that I use, right? Because not always, I think we all want that DM say, hey, I'm ready to buy, but it doesn't always work like that, at least not for me yet. So I created a neighborhood guide. I created a hot sheets for all new construction homes, and I essentially just offer it to them. And out of 20 DMs that I send 10 DMs that I send per day, I probably get 6 new emails every single day. So not only am I capturing the Instagram ad, but I'm also moving them into my CRM, and it's free. And I just copy and paste the same thing. I just changed the name. We can go to the next one. So the goal is to create something of value, because why else would they give you their email, right? They don't want to see homes, they're on Zillow and whatnot, but I have a neighborhood guide, so I'm the expert. I can tell you every neighborhood by price point, square footage, and all that sort of stuff. So this is another thing that I did. So this client, we actually closed last month. She inquired about a home. She ended up ghosting me, and since it was on my CRM and it went to a specific folder at a specific price point, I went on the MLS, handpicked six or 5 different homes that matched the same home, and I sent it to her. And then she replied, first and foremost, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I started following a few realtors, and you're the only one who messaged me. And that was it. And I'm nosy, so I went to go look who they follow, and they're top producer agents, and I got the business. So that's that, right? So just take the initiative to, it's not all inbound. You have to do outbound. It's just like any other prospecting tool. Can go to the next one. It's all good. It's giving me time to breathe because. So this is another thing that I do. These 3 things literally is all I do, and it just does everything. Once they become from the last slide, when they become a warmer lead, I introduce them to my lender, all through DMs. I keep them in one platform. I think a lot of people say you should pull them out, get their phone number, go for the appointment. I don't like doing it that way because most people nowadays just like to text anyway. So I make the introduction, especially if your lender has a very good social media, right? Because if they're trusting me for my social media, they want to see who's doing their finances. So I make this, just literally tell my lender what that specific lead is looking for and whatnot, and then she extracts a phone call, she makes the appointment, and then she hits me up when they're pre-approved. So those 3 things are, I mean, aside from the videos, it's like all I do. And it's not that difficult, right? Again, value offers, neighborhood guides, new listing alerts, market reports, something that would solve their issue of what they need, right? Just dig a little deeper. The goal is to always capture the email though, just because you don't want them just to stay on Instagram. You want to, because if my Instagram were to get hacked, I'd be pretty fucked. So at least I'm trying to get as many emails as possible. Another thing that I do have in my bio is Google Forms. I think this is by Google. You actually would click on that and just tell me what you're looking for and whatnot. Something that's really cool is that I learned this from an agent in Arizona is one of the questions is, what is your social media handle? Because then it just reverts back into Instagram, right? They want to feel important, like you want to follow them and whatever else, right? So essentially it's like Instagram for me, and everything kind of just funnels down and then it goes back every single time. The videos that I do on closings or listings, I tag them, I send them to them, and I want them to follow it. So.
I got a question.
Sure.
So you're saying here you're capturing emails. Do you usually have a hard time capturing their phone number?
Yes and no. I just don't go for it, right? Because like that's a little bit more private.
Okay, and
And
then getting them to fill this form out too. Just curious.
So if this form is only there for those who I haven't interacted with. So sometimes I go on the story and say, I'll post something and I'll tag the link to this and be like, hey, do you want to work with me? Fill this out.
Oh, okay.
So, because if I'm already interacting with them, I want to ask these questions myself. So it's a little bit more personal anyway. But yeah, I don't go for the phone. I go for the email. It's the less resistance I have, the better it is for me, right? So if I went straight into a buyer's appointment from a simple interaction, you can turn people. I can tell when they're turned off by it. So this is how I grew my page. If you guys are familiar with trial reels, anyone? So I don't post that much, but I do post on trial reels, and I just repost the same video. From my understanding, if you post on trial reels, it goes to new viewers, people that are not following you, people that are not familiar with your page. That's all I want. I just want new people always moving. Create interactive stories. So for example, I showed this house on Saturday. I made a poll, and then the title was Gorgeous Home, but a bit of a conflict, right? So as I was doing the commentary of the house, it was priced at $950, tiny backyard, super, super small. And my clients felt the same way, right? So I recommended, hey, for $950, I can get you wide ranges of options in back of it, right? So the poll was, I'll take it or keep shopping, right? And people interacting. And so I know that those people are watching my stories, and then eventually they're gonna get that other DM asking if they want a neighborhood guide or if they want something else, right? Comments that I get back is like, totally agree. Thanks for sharing footage with the commentary. So people are watching, and I don't even know these people. So anything that sparks conversation, sometimes I'll say some like outlandish stuff just to like see what happens. I do keep my brand very clean. I think there's stuff out there that's just to get interactions and go viral, and I don't do that. I think I want this for the long run, and eventually these buyers are going to become listings, and people want their house represented in a nice way. So
Do you integrate your personal life?
well, it's tough because I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. I'd say like going to the gym. I like cars. Go to car stuff. Nobody necessarily knows what my mom looks like, I don't think. Through socials, like I'm not posting a lot of that stuff. I think it's important. Maybe if I was married and kids, maybe I would. But I don't think incorporating much of my personal life would move the needle for my business. Just because like, and I don't have that many hobbies. If I have a hobby, it's probably out drinking with my friends. Like, so like I'm not doing anything that would really. I mean, maybe I should pick up some hobbies like pickleball and whatnot, but no, no, yeah.
So how do you spark conversations? Like, can you give us an example?
Just like I would say, damn, you're putting me on the spot. I don't know, like something like this, right? Again, gorgeous home, but a big of a conflict. So I'm letting the viewer almost decide if they love the house so much that they're willing to live in a small lot. So I'm sparking a conversation, right?
So like more through like polls.
Polls, sometimes through the commentary. I think polls work the best, better, more than questions, because I think questions you're less inclined to ask. I don't know, people are scared to ask questions, right? So a poll is just like 2 options, pick one, dude. Like, so that's how I do that. Yep.
What if the listing agent sees that and gets mad at you? Has that ever happened?
It has not, but I mean, it's the truth, right? Like, it's a small lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a lie, right? And I said I didn't say I thought it was a small lot. I said my clients felt like it was a small lot, right? And it's all subjective, so.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. So a little bit of recap again for me specifically. I don't try to go viral. I think my videos do because it's like, I don't know. But it's not my intent, right? Like I'm not doing crazy stuff to make sure I hit the algorithm. It's just through my videos. One reel can start a conversation, but I think if you don't have the systems and CRM, it'll be pretty tough to convert them, right? Because like, not everyone's gonna DM you telling you that they're ready to move now. It just not happening for me yet. So I still have to do a little bit of the legwork. Every follower at the end of the day is a lead. They're all gonna have to buy or sell at some point. If not, they know someone. So I would treat it just like that. The form and the bio filters that series from the curious. I don't get that many forms being filled out, but it does work. So I would incorporate that in there. So let's see. Content brings them in, follow-up earns the deal, and stories keep them engaged. So I don't post that much, but I'm always posting stories just to show that I'm active and showing homes, and it's my job, right? My favorite part about this whole thing is like, you do the work once and you let the reel just take off and it's just doing the work for you. And it's always just sparking up conversations, right? I do look at my metrics pretty good. So again, if you can see, all these are local cities, and that's all I care about. Because my stuff is being viewed where I live, where I want to sell, and where I want to hold a good amount of my market share. My age range is pretty important too, because if 17-year-olds were watching this, it's like, ah, shit, like I'm not doing the right thing. So my age group is 25 to 44. Those are probably who are transacting the most, or who would want to work with me too.
Is Instagram your only platform that you do?
Yes, and that's something that I have to work on. I have to move on to TikTok and YouTube, but I know myself and I wanted to master one platform before I dabble into everything. So I would say, pick your favorite one, master it, and then explore, because, yes.
Between reels, stories, and posts, which one do you like?
Reels. One reel, think about it. Everyone can get 100 views on a reel. Everyone can. That's a lot of people. That's a lot, like.
Associated with hashtags and stuff too, right? That help.
I use them, but I don't know if they work. I don't know if they work. So if you go on Instagram, you look up Solano County Realtor, right? Because everybody uses social media as like a Google nowadays. My stuff will come up. So I do use them for that purpose, but I don't think it pushes the video out. I don't know. Maybe Roland knows more about that. I don't know. But.
So I know Bill's probably going to touch on this, but are you boosting it, or using the ad manager for yours?
No.
Those are all organic?
Yep.
Okay, and then my second part question is, when it says follow up earns the deal, how often are you following up with the people that are in your DMs? Like to the point
I probably should follow up more, but enough to where they feel like I see them.
Okay, got it.
And also depends on how interactive they are. If you go through your viewers, you're gonna see a name that you don't know, and you're always gonna see them in your stories. So I typically post a story and I scroll and find an account that I always see that just sticks out. That person is getting messaged, because that means they're watching my story every single time I post.
Are you asking them a question? Sorry.
Yeah, no.
When you message
Yeah,
them.
yeah. It's always value. It's not, are you looking to move, or are you looking to sell? It's always, I have something you might want. Do you want it? Yeah.
How often are you prospecting a day?
10 DMs a day, so whenever I get a chance. It's very quick.
Do you prospect at a certain time?
No, I don't. It's just whenever I get a chance to do so. Still got to sell real estate another way, but through the other stuff. But I tend to, about 10 a day, and like other people's stuff, just to get interactions and just keep showing your face.
I haven't done the reels in a while. Are they still like, what, a minute long or so?
A reel? So I know Roland's are a little bit longer, so there's 3 ways you can create videos. There's the video walkthrough with music in the background. There's video walkthrough with commentary, which I think probably translates the best because it keeps viewers engaged. I don't like the sound of my voice, so what I do is, mine is more like a teaser reel. So I show my face in the first 3 seconds, then I showcase the house, and then somewhere in the middle I say something, and then the end. So by it all, I say like 10 words. But my face, again, just keeps showing up.
How long's a reel?
Mine are 45 seconds. Also, something I'll throw out there, there's this thing called average watch time if you look at your metrics, and mine is about 20 seconds. So I know all the sexy stuff has to be in the first 20 seconds. So I show myself in the first 20. Ash?
When did you realize that you needed to start integrating systems into this, and how has it changed your prospecting on this platform since you've done that?
So I've had this account since I became an agent, but I wasn't posting like this way. Not until November that I got my first ever Instagram lead, and I closed them out in December, and it was a pretty good check. And I was like, oh, this works. And from December to now, doing quite a few deals through social media, just one pillar again, right? So it's like, at that moment, I started posting a lot more and a lot more intentional. And when more DMs started coming in is when I figured that if I'm not following up or just creating a system, it's not going to work. I'm almost just like not doing anything.
But as far as like the automated,
So that's a great question. So the automation, actually, I started doing it when my videos started getting like 20K views and a lot of comments just because I couldn't keep up. I would say it's $60 a month. Incorporate the systems now, so when it happens, you're ready. It's like everything, right? Just like start doing it now. It's not expensive, and then that way you're more inclined to use it too, right? So I would start as soon as.
Cool. We're gonna do a Q&A. Maybe one more. We'll do a Q&A at the end so we can go through everybody.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
You don't edit it in the Reels, you edit it in CapCut?
Correct.
Because Reels, you can't put music in.
So the reason I do that is because I like my stuff to look very high production, and I'm able to move the volumes up and down. So CapCut is the best. It's $20 a month, and I think it's $20, but I would use CapCut. I think one of the gurus before has said, edit on Reels, it pushes out your content. I don't think it's true, but.
And remove the watermark.
Yes, so pay for it, it's $20.
You can go back into your videos if you want the free version and just slide it down a little bit. You want to do it on the budget friendly. Hey, let's give it up for Walter. How are you doing? Awesome, man.
Thank you.
Awesome job. All right, cool. All right, dude, it's crazy. A lot of this
I was
stuff
like flexing my abs.
Going through and like, working out, like, dude, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like literally, this is the same process that
Really?
I was doing
I saw you did.
8 years ago.
Thank you.
The same thing, right? One of the key things I think that you did at the end was we start to get more and more and more. Like start now with the systems and like having things in place, because like after a while, like if you get 10 DMs, 20 DMs, 30 DMs, messages, leads, like you start to lose them. And so like if you have things at the beginning, it's easier. Like let's say you get 5 today, you get 3 tomorrow. Like it's easier to manage all that. But start now with the systems. I'm telling you, like that. I think that was gold, huge. And dude, one of the biggest things, R&D. Like that's what like a lot of coaches like they talk about, like just rip off and duplicate. Like just don't reinvent things. Like just literally like grab what other people are doing and then just take that and do it where you want to do it at. Right? Like this market's so big, like the competition, like there's no competition between all of us. Can you guys agree with that? Like we can all be working in the same city, but there's so many other buyers and so many sellers. Not everybody we want to work with. I think what this does is it's getting people that do want to work with you, and we want to work with people that want to work with us. You guys agree? Yep. So I think that's huge. So man, we're bringing up Roland. I think he's the keynote today. Everybody was doing. Everybody's been following. Everybody's been like, man, you guys got Roland coming up to come and speak and stuff. And dude, I know Roland for a long time. Like I think when he first got licensed, he just got started, and like we were just, I think so. They're doing videos and they're doing content and all this other stuff, but another level is creativity. It's like how do you get people to like gravitate towards you. I remember like when I started doing videos, like people would, sellers would call me and they'd be like, man, I saw you do that one listing video, and man, I wanted you to do something like that for my house. Like, I'm looking to sell, right? It's grabbing the attention. And dude, I don't think there's anybody else in the Bay Area right now better than the creativity side of things right now. And he's starting to expand towards nationwide, right? And I think that's huge. So the creativity side, like, that's where I think you guys could really learn and just start following him. But man, appreciate
you, man.
Yeah.
I feel like he put way too much pressure on me, saying I'm the keynote, so I'm gonna put my expectations low. This is me up here. I hate this headshot, by the way. This is like I take a headshot probably like once every 7 years, and this doesn't look anything like me anymore. But if you guys don't follow me, maybe I'm a little less known out here because I don't come out to Fairfield like very much. I don't know where everybody's coming from today, but you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all the same username for the most part. You can hit the next slide, Drew. But I'm super grateful to be here. I remember being just like a baby agent. I've been in the industry 7 years now, and going into one of Bill's meetings back when you were at Heinz, I think, and I didn't know a single thing. Like, I was in that meeting, they called on me like, hey, what'd you learn today? And I'm like, I don't know. So it's super kind of like surreal to be here right now, and just see how far you've come, for real. Just want to give you your flowers too. Starting off simple though, more home tours. Who wants to do, quick show of hands, extra 10 to 15 deals a year from home tours? Perfect, me too. So this kind of idea of home tours clicked with me a little less than 2 years ago. It's where I really started taking home tours seriously. I've done a crazy amount of video over my 7-year career, really more so the last 4 years. And you got to do a lot of different shit. Like, at the end of the day, you have to try so much different stuff until you find the thing that sticks. So it's just like anything else. Walter's talking about how he used to do cold calling and expireds. You might get lucky every once in a while when you go do that first round of door knocking when it comes to like farming the neighborhood or your, for your open houses. And then you're like super stoked on it, and then it's a hiatus for 5 months after that. So it's the same exact thing. You just have to put those reps in over and over and over again. One of the things I always tell people as well is if you ever have one of those videos that does just a little bit better than the rest, maybe you're stuck at that 500 views, 1,000 views, and then there's one that pops off and you're like, oh, that one hit 5,000, that one hit 10,000. That's the algorithm teaching you, do more of that. Keep going, don't stop, don't stop. I'll get people all the time that are like, oh yeah, I had one that did 200,000 views. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Did you do more of that? And they're like, no, I didn't. So always take that as like your green light. That algorithm's basically saying, if you keep doing this, we're gonna reward the hell out of you. So go back, study your analytics, look at your numbers. If you had one that even from a year ago that was way better than the rest, do that. You can hit the next slide, please. So home tours specifically have really blown up my business, blown up my following.